University. Tonight's broadcast is a presentation of D5 out of Aurora, Colorado, averaging 17 points in there as we begin tonight's game. Being brought to you by University Credit Union, and those players to watch also brought to you by University Credit Union. Waves doubling down on EK along the baseline. The starting lineups for tonight's game for Pepperdine. They go with a bigger lineup and driving to the basket. Smith then lays it up and in, and the Gonzaga Bulldogs take a 2-0 lead. Our officials for tonight's game: Randy McCall, Rick Crawford, and Deldre Carr. Man-to-man defense by Gonzaga to start this game for the Waves. Danilo Dozic, Jonathan Levy, and Pavle Stosic, who played at Gonzaga 2 years ago in 2024. The guards of Styles Phipps and Aaron Clark. Waves coached by Ed Schilling in his second year. Three-pointer by Clark, coming off a 25-point performance against Rice 8 days ago. 2-0 in favor of Gonzaga. This is EK. Goes into the corner. Long three-point shot attempt. That is off the mark by Gonzaga. And that is Steele Venters, the transfer from Eastern Washington. Phipps outside. His three-pointer doesn't go. And run down and taken by Braden Smith. The transfer from Colgate. Driving to the basket. Laying it in is Venters. And it is now 4-0 in favor of Gonzaga. According to the local newspapers, Gonzaga comes into this game as a 29.5-point favorite. Again, close to a sellout tonight. Capacity at the dime, 3,100. Man defense by Gonzaga, 4-0 Zags, 18-16 to play. Three-point shot at 10 by Stosic, and that misses. And here come the Bulldogs once again. Waves get back in transition against one of the highest scoring teams in the country. EK's three-pointer bounces off on a nice rebound by Phipps.
And that's exactly what the Waves want to force the Zags to do. They want to try and shoot them beyond the arc. So watch for the Waves to really play that disciplined defense inside the key.
That ball goes inside to Levy. Waves being a little more patient along the baseline. Jumper by Stosic, and the Waves off to a cold start to start this game. At the other end, laying it in is Inochinte. And it's 6-0 in favor of the Zags with 17:31 to go.
Gonzaga really wants to push the pace in transition. The Waves have to get back on defense very fast.
6-0 Waves, something they did not want to do, get off to a slow start before a highly partisan crowd. Magnificent day here in Southern California, about 68 degrees, lots of sunshine and blue skies throughout the Southland. Up in Spokane, Washington, as you take a look at Ed Schilling in his second year. Up in Spokane tonight, it'll get down to about 18 degrees. It was about 31 degrees at high today up in the Northwest. These teams will meet again on Wednesday, January 21st at Gonzaga. Zags top of the key, three-pointer by Venters, and it drops in for a three, and it's 9-0 Zags to start the game.
Really great ball movement there from the Zags to create that opportunity beyond the key. Venters saw that opportunity and took it. He's shooting at 43 behind the arc.
Venters, who was at Eastern Washington a couple years ago, he was the Big Sky Player of the Year, but he's been injured the last couple of seasons, but he's finally healthy, and he leads the Zags with 25 three-pointers on the season. Clark top of the key, three-pointer is good by Aaron Clark, and that first basket being brought to you by University Credit Union.
We're going to be saying Clark's name all evening long. Does a really great job inside the paint, but also creates opportunity out behind the arc.
Driving is Phipps and missing the layup, and EK with the rebound at 6'9". Played at Wyoming his first season, was injured 1 year. He's a two-time all-conference player and misses the short jumper, and the Waves do a good job rebounding. The Bulldogs, one of the best rebounding teams in the nation. They are plus 11 on the year and average 92 points a game. Ranks them in the top 10 in the country in scoring as we get a timeout taken.
Zags, their key is to play to their standard, stop the flex offense that the Waves have.
All right, Pepperdine basketball, the Waves start the game just 1 of 6 from the field, just 17%. They've been shooting the ball a lot better of late. Dozic right side to Javon Cooley, who comes off the bench. Dozic outside, three-pointer is good.
Really great work there by Dozic, finding that outside shot, creating space, and just finishing to the basket.
Well, tonight's game being brought to you by University Credit Union. This is EK one-on-one against Levy and lays it up and in off the dribble. So skilled inside.
He's so skilled. EK has fantastic footwork. Pay attention to what he does, of course, with his ball handling. But throughout this game, watch for EK's footwork specifically, and that is exactly how he creates opportunity for the Zags.
And the Waves did not double team him on that possession, so they're going to mix it up. Outside, Levy with a three.
Levy, standing at 6'10", has that range and versatility. He's coming off of a really great game, has a field goal percentage of 49% for the Waves.
Braden Smith misses, but there is Huff to put it back up and in. Gonzaga again on the offensive glass. This is a team that comes in hitting 52% from the floor, averaging 92 points a game. Waves can score. They do average 75 points a contest. 13-8 Gonzaga, 14:29 remaining. The Bulldogs, and wherever they go, they draw such big crowds. There you see Mark Pugh now in his 27th year, 14 times the West Coast Conference Coach of the Year. 2021, he was the National Coach of the Year. He's gotten the Bulldogs into the NCAA tournament 26 consecutive years, twice into the national championship in 2017 and 2021. They did fall short, but the success has been unbelievable under Mark Pugh, a Hall of Fame coach. Phipps and then stumbles and lost it out of bounds, and you talked about Victoria, about taking care of the basketball. Value of possession will be so important for the Waves tonight.
You said it, out possession is so important, and a couple of unforced error, ball handling errors on the side of the Waves. They have to minimize those errors to really put up a fight against the Zags.
Waves settle back in their man defense. The Waves are a very young team. They started 5 sophomores compared to Gonzaga, a much more mature physical team. And there's EK with a bank shot.
EK creating space inside the arc just like he does. You're going to see a lot of teams double team him on defense, but he handles it swimmingly. Really shows us exactly how he's one of the top athletes in the nation.
Levy driving to the basket, may have drawn a foul as the Waves will go to the bench, and they'll bring in Stefan Cicic, the 7-foot redshirt freshman from Riverside, Illinois, the transfer from Tulane. But Levy, transfer from Green Bay, been playing very well of late. Again, it's such a young Pepperdine team. The only real experience is Javon Cooley, the graduate senior, 4 years in Marist, and he's the second leading scorer on Pepperdine at just under 14 a game. And Levy able to make the free throw. Waves one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. They rank number 14 at 78%. It's a series that dates back to 1964. Gonzaga leads the series 69-31, and the Zags have won 49 consecutive games against Pepperdine. The last time Pepperdine won was in 2002 here in Malibu. Paul Westphal is the head coach of the Waves. That was the last time Pepperdine went to the NCAA. The last time Pepperdine won a conference championship in 2002. Driving is St. Superi and fumbles it, but the Zags pick it up. Grant Foster's jumper for 3, and he knocks it down.
Foster taking care of that ball beyond the arc. We can see the Waves really trying to be physical inside the paint. The Zags lead the nation inside the paint. So Waves are identifying that. They have done their scouting report. Watch for them to continue to really press for the Zags to keep shooting beyond the arc.
Grant Foster is 26 years of age. The transfer from Grand Canyon. Waves continuing to shoot ice cold, driving to the basket, laying it in. The basket will count, and there is a foul. A nice drive by Gonzaga, and getting the lay-in, Jalen Worley, the transfer from Virginia.
Pepperdine needs to make sure that they get back on defense. There's too many open looks for Gonzaga at the moment. And as well, on the other side of the ball, Al, the Waves have to really establish their offense when they have that opportunity, slow the game down on their side.
Worley at the free throw line. The Zags as a team, 72% at the free throw line. That one comes in and comes out, and Cicic, the 7-footer, gets the loose ball. For Gonzaga, again, we have a big crowd tonight, but they are truly the rock stars of the West Coast Conference. They are the Rolling Stones. They create so much excitement wherever they go. They draw big crowds. Everybody wants to see them. As Gonzaga able to drop in a 3 on the right wing.
their open opportunity, just getting set and finishing that all the way to the basket.
Waves hanging in there despite the cold shooting, now 4 of 10, but down only by 7, 20-13. Superior throws up a shot, and the Waves able to get the rebound, and that is Chichas once again. The Waves, despite not shooting well to begin this game, only down by 7 with 12:09 to play. They'll certainly try to slow the tempo down a little bit. Here's Cooley, the shot partially blocked. A nice effort by Grant Foster, blocking that shot at the other end. Driving is Worley. Worley will back it up. This is Adam Miller, another transfer from Arizona State, one of their top shooters, and he misses, and the Waves get the loose ball.
Cicic is doing a really great job for the Waves right now. Number 14 in white, standing at 7 feet. He plays a really big defensive role. Coach said that they need his big body inside the paint.
So slammed up by Grant Foster in transition after the block shot at the other end on Clark. That is one thing the Waves are going to have to get back on defense in transition. And we get a timeout taken by Pepperdine. Waves are only down by 9, 22-13, 11:25 to go.
Athleticism comes in through their offense, finds offensive rebounds, will make blocks as well, plays on both sides of the ball for Grant Foster.
Cicic is bumped and fouled, and we'll see if on the shot attempt against Gonzaga, just their second team foul. It's been a up and down game so far, and the Waves will get it out of bounds with 11:13 remaining.
Well, the Waves need to take higher quality shots when they have possession and they have the opportunity to.
Gonzaga, a much better defensive team than people realize, along with St. Mary's, the two dominant teams in this conference over the last decade or so. Of course, Gonzaga, one of the premier programs the last 20 years. Cicic puts up a shot at the free throw line, and once again, Gonzaga getting the defensive rebound. This is Worley with the dribble, get into the lane, 10-foot jumper falls short, and the Waves do a good job on the defensive boards and come up the floor once again. But I think you're right, Victoria, the Waves need to be a little more patient on offense, but I think Gonzaga's defense is kind of dictating a lot of that.
They are, and they did their scouting report. They know that they really want to play disciplined defense against that flex offense that the Waves have. So watch for them to really make sure that they're disciplined, they're in their positions, because right now the consistent motion with the flex offense of the Waves, the Zags have to be true, and they have to have eye work specifically when on defense.
14 fouls, make it 5 against Gonzaga. The Waves are an excellent free throw shooting team as the Zags bring in Braden Smith, transfer from Colgate, sat out last year, 2 years ago, the Patriots League Player of the Year. Outstanding point guard. But the Zags, the great success that they have had, they come in 12-1. They're currently ranked number 7 in the nation. Here's Phipps, shot blocked by Huff, coming over to help out defensively, and Gonzaga comes up with it. This is Smith in the front court. They go into the corner, three-point shot attempt falls short by Miller, but there is Huff, who's having a sensational year, but throws it away, and Pepperdine able to force the turnover.
Watch for Smith's fast in transition for the Zags. He has 59 assists on the season. He's really good at establishing the play.
Block shot once again, right side, three-pointer by Cooley, and able to knock it down. 22-16. Boy, if you were watching this game, you'd think the Zags have about a 15 to 20 point lead, but then Grant Foster able to make the three.
Let's talk about Cooley, 23 for the Waves. One of the most experienced players on the floor for the Waves. Watch for him to continue to make plays offensively.
Nice Styles Phipps. Grant Foster's come in to get 8 quick points, 25-16 in favor of the Zags. Their biggest lead early has been 10. Of course, Gonzaga will leave the West Coast Conference July 1st, 2026 as the Waves with a turnover. Driving to the basket, Smith then laid up and in. It's going to count as fouled. Boy, capitalizing on the turnover, that's one of the keys here early on, Victoria. The fact that Gonzaga's been able to get in transition off the turnover and get some easy baskets.
Smith is known for the Zags as the general. He runs the offense on the team, always uplifts his team around him. He's that spark plug on the floor, not to mention that he's shooting 47% field goal on the season thus far. Stands at 6 foot, but creates plays, creates opportunities for the Zags.
Rebounding, the Zags have the edge, 13-9. 27-16 to make it 28-16. Biggest lead for Gonzaga here in the first half with 9:21 remaining. And Pepperdine shooting just 31% from the field, 5 of 16. This is Dozic driving, but a foul on the dribble going to be against Braden Smith. The ball will go out of bounds. 16 fouls against Gonzaga. We had mentioned that the Zags will leave the West Coast Conference along with Oregon State and Washington State to go to the Pac-12 on July 1st, 2026. They have been in the league since 1979, 47 years. As the ball stolen, the Waves turn it over. Grant Foster lays it up, missed the lay-in, but draws the foul.
The Waves have to make sure that they are executing their assignments. We talked about the Zags having good communication and defense on defense, and that's exactly what the Waves need to up a little bit more here. So watch for the Waves to identify what their roles are in transition, specifically on defense.
Zags on a 6-0 run over the last 48 seconds. We mentioned Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference, 47 years. They came from the Big Sky Conference back in 1979. As you take a look at Grant Foster, a tremendous athlete, transfer from Grand Canyon, but again, the experience. This is 7th year of playing collegiate basketball, and that does make a big difference. He is a tremendous athlete and a nice addition to Gonzaga this season. 29-16, 9:04 to play. The Waves with the cold shooting and the turnovers, a three-quarter press defense by Gonzaga, trying to up the tempo, and the foul reaching in is Grant Foster. 17 fouls, and so the Waves will be shooting free throws the rest of the way here in the first half with 8:54 to go. Waves have only 3 team fouls.
Zags are doing great with man-to-man defense right now. They're finding a lot of success. I don't see them letting up on that man-to-man defense. Continue to watch for them to really establish those roles. And we talked a little bit about how the Waves run that flex offense. They're really good at the interchangeable positions. There's not really set positions running that flex offense. So watch for the bigs and the guards to often perform the same actions.
The other thing besides the Waves' cold shooting, when they get inside so far early, Gonzaga's been able to block a number of shots. Here is Huff, who is their leading scorer, 19 points a game. And so far, Huff has not scored. He's been barely noticeable early in the game. Other players have stepped up in this one. But Braden Huff, who is 6'10", the junior, really one of the premier players. He actually leads the nation with 112 field goals made, 19 points a game. He dropped in 37 against Campbell a week or so ago, but comes out of Glen, Illinois. He was a 4-star recruit in his high school senior year. Huff was the Illinois State Player of the Year, wears number 34. And you see Styles Phipps, who was also at Grand Canyon last season.
And what's so special about this roster for the Zags is that Huff and EK have a very special relationship together. They are roommates. They are in charge of the team bonding, so they encourage the underclassmen to come out to dinner, go to the movies, really keep that team camaraderie, not just on the court, but off the court.
31-16, right side Dozic, three-point shot attempt, misses, tipped by Clark, a great effort, but doesn't go, and the ball tipped out of bounds. And let's see, last touch by Pepperdine, and the ball will go to Gonzaga. Waves will entertain St. Mary's on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. We'll have it on ESPN Plus for the Bulldogs. They'll travel down to San Diego on Tuesday. And so Braden Smith comes into the front court. This is the 6-foot junior out of Seattle. 2024, the Conference Player of the Year. He's averaging 6 points, 4 assists a game. As Gonzaga will bring it in. Grant Foster, who's been such a key player. He was the WAC Player of the Year in 2024. Right in the lane is Huff. His jumper is long. Pepperdine out in transition. Styles Phipps out to Dozic, top of the key. Zags so quick to the ball in the perimeter, and if you try to go inside, they have shot blockers. Here's Clark. Waves being patient. 31-16. Clark on the baseline. Nice move around Venters. The shot blocked right there, helping out defensively. Once again, we mentioned the shot blocking ability. Here's Venters with the three, and Clark gets the loose ball.
Just because the Zags are pushing the tempo in transition doesn't mean that the Waves need to or should. Right now, they have really good ball movement for the last minute, I would say. And we're seeing Clark really drive to the basket. I expect those to fall. On that AVP beach volleyball tour, it was a fun time. Happy to be here with you, Al.
Good to have you, Victoria. So far, the Waves shooting 26% from the field, 5 of 19, and for Gonzaga, 12 of 24. Points in the paint, 18-0 Gonzaga. Block shots, the Zags have 5, Pepperdine with 1. So we mentioned, even if the Waves able to get by that perimeter defense, getting inside, they've had trouble on the defensive effort by Gonzaga. We get a foul, and the Waves will get some free throws.
Gonzaga currently shooting at 50%, Pepperdine at 26. So right now we're seeing a lot of turnovers in transition. Now is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about rebounds for the Zags. They have 16 total, and they're using those to their advantage. Specifically offensive rebounds. They've been able to use the 3 that they had to convert and earn those field goals.
Free throw missed, the front end of a 1-and-1 by Levy. Chante, excellent defensive player, transfer from Tarleton State. Gonzaga picked to win the West Coast Conference. Right side, Venters, three-pointer is good.
Venters is very consistent behind the arc. Shoots 43% for the Zags. He started the last 5 games for Gonzaga, brings a lot of leadership to the court.
Levy missing on a short jumper, and Smith again changing the trajectory of the shot attempt with that defense by Gonzaga, and Braden Smith able to hit the jumper.
Smith is feeling really good, especially coming off of a season-high 21 points versus Oregon just the other night. As I said, he's the general on the court. He's going to make plays.
Doze's shot is long, and here comes Gonzaga. But the Waves, really cold here in the first half, shooting and not getting many offensive rebounds, just 2. Not getting any second and third opportunities as EK drops in a shot.
EK's vision is so good when he has hands on ball. We talked about his footwork, but it's his vision that allows him that opportunity to step out and make those huge part of their success.
All right, Dosic on the left wing, EK right up on him at 6'9". He's so agile and quick and long. Again, a graduate senior, was at Wyoming for 1 year. As Aaron Clark left side, Chante defending for Gonzaga. The Waves go inside. Levy, the follow away, the jumper. That falls short. EK with the rebound. And Smith quickly down the floor as the Zags continue to push it. EK's shot is good.
Keep watching Levy inside the paint for the Waves. Those balls are going to continue to drop. He's trying to find that space and opportunity. Just got to be able to finish. A
16-0 run by Gonzaga over the last 4:53, make it 18 straight, and 20-3 over the last 6.5 minutes. Pepperdine has missed their last 6 shots and are just 1 of their last 12. As you see, EK so agile around the basket and strong, able to score over Levy.
The Zags earning 5 blocks on the game thus far. That's that vision on defense, creating that opportunity to make those blocks hands up high in their opponent's face.
At the free throw line, it will be Danilo Dosic, a 6'10 sophomore who played last year for the Waves. He was injured most of this season, and the Waves able to finally drop in a point, down 40-17 with 4:40 to go here in the first half. The Zags with 22 WCC tournament championships, 28 consecutive years they have been in the West Coast Conference tournament championship game. They won it last year. 18 consecutive seasons they won at least 25 or more games, and they're headed for that once again this season. They are truly an amazing program. They will leave the West Coast Conference. The WCC will add University of Denver next year as Miller's jumper falls off. The Waves scramble for the rebound. Nice play by Levy, and here comes Styles Phipps. and has bumped him, fouled, and the Waves will get some free throws. But with the WCC changing, University of Denver next season, July 1st, 2026. UC San Diego comes into the West Coast Conference July 1st, 2027. As we take a look at Styles Phipps, and then Huff lost his balance, and Waves catch a break. That is 10 team fouls, so 2 shots coming to Pepperdine.
Don't think Huff was expecting the play to stop there, but a foul nonetheless. The Waves have to take care of the ball when they have the opportunity to with their free throws.
So for Gonzaga, they'll join the Pac-12 along with Oregon State and Washington State. With the Big West going through a lot of changes as UC San Diego comes into the conference. I think still eventually one more school will join the WCC as Phipps guarding Smith, the crafty guard, very quick along the baseline. Levy does a nice job defensively helping out, and the Waves get the turnover. And Phipps in the front court. Right side to Dozic along the baseline. I think ideally the Waves would have liked to work the clock more in their half-court sets, but they've fallen behind by 20. So now all of a sudden you're going to start putting the ball up a little bit quicker to try to get back in this game. And Phipps gets called for double dribble, and the Waves give it back to Gonzaga. It was off to a slow start, but the Waves overall shooting only 22% from the field.
I expect Aaron Clark 3 for Pepperdine to kind of come into his own here throughout the duration of this game. He's coming off of 25 points versus Rice just the other evening. 4 for 6 shooting from distance. Right now, only has 3 total rebounds and 2 points for the Waves. So watch for Clark to create some more opportunity here for the Waves.
All right, Braden Huff finally gets on the scoreboard. 42-20. The league is so strong this year from top to bottom as Phipps driving, but he goes into those tall trees, and then EK there to defend along with Huff. EK in the lane. Back outside, fumbled. Waves come up with a steal once again. Need to take advantage of those turnovers. Here's Clark. Waves top scorer, 14.5 a game. Zags defense as Clark will step up. His shot falls short. On the long bounce, he gets it back. And nothing there. Top of the circle. And now along the baseline, the Waves turn it back over. And with the basketball, Gonzaga. And this is Davis Fogel in the game, the 6'7" freshman. The ball rolls off the rim. Rebound to EK amongst several Pepperdine Waves. And the ball is tied up in the alternating possession, and Pepperdine will have it.
The Zags are going to continue to drive inside the lane and score inside the paint. What that means for Pepperdine is that they need to get set on defense. Watch for them to maybe play a little bit more man-on-man here for the Waves.
Points in the paint, 24-0. And again, it goes back to that shot blocking ability by Gonzaga. They can afford to overplay on the perimeter and pressure the Wave shooters, and hence the Waves shooting only 22%. And even if they get into the lane, they're going to have to go up against those taller players. Right side, this is Cooley underneath and lays it up and in. 42-22 in favor of the Zags as Cooley able to deliver, averaging just under 14 points a game. The graduate senior really the only experienced player on this team as Gonzaga apparently stepped out of bounds was Adam Miller with 2:05 remaining in this first half. All right, Phipps, transfer from Grand Canyon, enjoying a terrific year. Better than 12 points a game. He's the Waves' leading rebounder, over 6 a game and over 5 assists a game. Long three by Levy, and that falls off. And EK, Gonzaga down the floor. They've been so well tested as they enter conference play. Santa Clara might be the long shot in the conference this year. This is Fogel, the freshman. Ball batted away, and the Waves get it. This is Levy down the floor to Clark. Clark, top of the key. He's open. The jumper is good, but it's only good for 2 as we get a timeout. 1:23 remaining in the first half. 42-22 in favor of Gonzaga. 24 in favor of Gonzaga. They've led by as many as 24. 1:14 remaining. This is St. Superi. Freshman from Spain, but a lot of international experience. There are 3 NBA scouts in attendance for tonight's game. Right side, this is Benters. His shot is long, and the Waves get the rebound. The Bulls, the Trailblazers, along with the Grizzlies, all in attendance. And I understand the Grizzlies NBA scout will be here on Tuesday night to check out St. Mary's at 6 p.m. We'll have it on ESPN+. Waves go down low to Cooley, the fall away. The shot is good.
And there's the action from Cooley that we can expect coming off of a great game off of Rice. Logged 15 points with 4 rebounds. Watch for Cooley to continue to find opportunity. Has a lot of experience, been in a lot of Division I games.
Yeah, 4 years at Marist. He was a starter the last 2 seasons as Fogle with a slam dunk, and it's 44-26 in favor of Gonzaga. A deep, talented team. The Waves also thought they were going to be a deep, talented team this year, but they've had some key injuries to potentially 2 starters and a top reserve. And all talented players. This is Stosic with the shot, and we get, let's see, top of everything else, the Zags have 5 block shots. Pepperdine with 1. Here's Smith swing it deep in the corner. The 3-point shot attempt is short. As the Waves come up with the loose ball, down 50-28. The Waves just need to be patient, in a game like this. And, Victoria will probably attest to this. You really don't play scoreboard in a contest when you're down by this many points. You just continue to play hard.
You have to play hard. You have to stay true to your identity. What is your team culture? What is your identity? Not when things are going right, but when things aren't going your way. What does it look like in the face of adversity?
And Huff with a slam dunk. Again, the long pass by Smith. So whether scoring or distributing the ball, Braden Smith has been so good. 52-28, 17-24 remaining. This is Levy outside and able to hit the 3-pointer.
Al, to your point, Coach Schilling shared that I've been the underdog. I know what it takes to win against the David and Goliath. He is very excited about the roster he has building this team for the Waves.
Braden Smith with a shot. He's got 14. And for Ed Schilling, again, the Waves have suffered a lot of injuries this season, have not been at full strength. They thought they were going to have a very deep, talented team, but that has not been the case as the ball goes out of bounds, and last touch by Gonzaga, and Pepperdine will get it.
To your point, Al, the Waves down 2 major players, Preston and Nicola, with a bone spur and a back injury. It's not something you ever want to hear, especially when conference play is starting. But with that being said, Ed Schilling has done such a great job of coming in to the Waves program and really making a presence early on.
You mentioned Nikola Radovanovic, a 6'9", would be a 4 or 5-star recruit, a guard forward. They were really counting on him. Has not played, only a couple of minutes all season. And then you have Ty Virgil, a very talented freshman guard, 6'6", out of Sacramento. And then Preston Phillips, a jumper by Clark, no good. Nice play by Levy, throws it up, and he's hit inbound. But you got to like the effort by Jonathan Levy.
Levy and also Clark. I like that look and take, stepping back, creating that space, and taking the shot on Clark. Clark needs to continue to find that momentum. It seems to be either feast or famine right now. He's a leading scorer for the Waves. Needs to turn it up just a little bit more here.
Well, the one other player, Preston Phillips, a transfer from Evansville, 6'8", 225. They're power forward, so he is out for the season. So those 3 players alone would make such a difference of this young team. As you see, Levy with a nice effort. Venters there defending. Saw Mark Pugh a moment ago, 27th year, 754 wins, 153 losses, a winning percentage of 83%. He actually was an assistant at Gonzaga for 8 years under Dan Fitzgerald and Dan Munson before getting the job. He's a graduate of Oregon back in 1987. He loves he's an avid fly fisherman and loves motorbiking. He is a lifer in Spokane. If he wanted to run for mayor, he'd probably win easily.
I think so. It's very exciting, the road ahead here.
54-33. Zags will bring it in. 16:20 to play. Zags got off to such a strong start and playing on the road, a heavy favorite. That certainly was one of their key points as Ike drops it in.
Ike creating space and opportunity inside the lane, especially with that wide elbow, wide stance, his footwork. Great look.
Zags force a turnover. Surprise Pepperdine with a full court press. up by 23, 56-33, 15:52 remaining. EK. Cross court to Smith, dribble drive to the basket, give it to Huff, who slams it in.
Gonzaga shared that they are going to play their basketball. It does not matter who is in front of them, who's wearing the jersey on the other side of the court. The Zags are going to come into a road match and play discipline.
Once again, able to push it. Shane Superior. Inside, ball tipped away, goes outside by Miller, and he drops in a three-pointer at the top of the key.
Great look there by Adam Miller, the 6'3" guard. Finds space and opportunity. He had a season-high 13 points for Southern Utah. Really comes into the game off the bench for the Zags. Creates opportunity. 50% field goal.
Goes lob to Cooley, able to slam it in. And the Wave did a nice job finding Cooley along the baseline. It's 63-35. The Zags have made 7 of 14 threes. And Pepperdine certainly so concerned about the inside game as EK draws the foul between EK and Huff. That's your #1 priority, but the ability of Gonzaga to make threes certainly a difference maker in this one.
EK is no stranger to being double teamed there. He is very impressive what he can do, his IQ on the court. And talking with the coaching staff, they said EK's energy and tenacity is what really separates him. He plays hard, his spirit, it trickles down throughout the entire team.
63-35. A moment ago, we took a look at Ed Schilling now in his second season as head coach. Prior to coming to Pepperdine, he was an assistant at Grand Canyon for 4 years. He has a wealth of experience. He worked 13 years with John Calipari at Memphis, UMass, and the Nets in the NBA. Assistant coach at UCLA under Steve Alford. Also worked at Indiana under Tom Crean for a couple years. He was the head coach of Wright State from 1997 through 2003. One of the youngest head coaches in the country at the time. And we're going to get, let's see, a 10-second or maybe backcourt violation against Pepperdine. Either way, Gonzaga's going to get the ball. And for Ed Schilling, he played his basketball in Miami of Ohio. Graduated in 1988. He still holds the school record for career assists and games played. He's quite a coach. He's a perfect fit for Pepperdine, a veteran coach with so much experience to settle this program down. And with a new arena coming, it should make a difference.
It will absolutely make a difference. Makes a difference in recruiting, home court advantage, and this is something Schilling knows. I mean, he's no stranger to high-level basketball, as you said. He's including appearances in Final Four, Sweet 16, you name it. But he said, we're building this program right. We're doing things right in a way of quality young men who want to be challenged academically. This is the place for them to play.
Javon Cooley off the dribble gets a lay-in. 66-37. The Zags, this is Miller from the outside, rattles in and comes out. EK with the putback. That rolls off, the ball goes out of bounds. It will be Pepperdine ball. We haven't seen a lot of Mario Superior, talented guard from Spain. When you talk to a lot of the coaches, they think he might be an NBA type player, but he's been under the weather the last week. He was sick a little bit against Oregon, and then Braden Smith came up with a 21-point performance, leading the Zags to that 91-82 victory as they come in with a 5-game winning streak. Waves have won 2 of their last 3. Clark off the dribble, in traffic, cheats just the shot blocked one more time. Superior, and the same Superior, and the ball fumbled and picked up by Miller. Talented guard from Arizona State who had 57 threes last year. Waves defending, but right there, Grant Foster with a shot attempt and scoring.
And that's what separates the Zags. They had the Zags, a ball handling error, but they're able to recover the error, reset, and find a way to get it to the basket.
Gonna get a foul on the dribble, but I think, Victoria, one of the things you really see is the experience of Gonzaga. Of course, they're very talented, so well coached, underrated as a defensive team over the years. Everybody knows about their offense, averaging 92 points a game year in and year out. They shoot better than 50%, as you see Mark Few, but the age difference, the experience, 2-3 years at each position over Pepperdine, I think makes such a big difference. when you play a team like this.
It really does, and Mark Few at the helm, of course, of Gonzaga, the winningest active coach by percentage at 83. Second fastest to 700 wins, reaching the milestone of 840 games.
Pretty amazing. He's going to be around for 800 plus wins. All right, this is Cooley along the baseline, his jumper, and scores. Javon Cooley, the Waves back 68-39. St. Superi.
Watch for the Waves to have good footwork here on defense.
Grant Foster off balance and draws the foul. 11:39 to play. We're going to get a timeout. No one is left of it. Javon Cooley has played well tonight.
Javon Cooley finds opportunity where he can, whether that's driving it inside the paint or shooting from beyond the arc. He's averaged 16.3 points per game over the last 3 efforts. That's one of 5 players in the WCC to rank in the top 20 in scoring and rebounding in the conference. Tonight, Cooley is 6 for 7. That's 13 total points for Cooley. He needs somebody on his team, though, to step up and start scoring. Find those opportunities in transition.
Well, Gonzaga, 4 players in double figures, led by Braden Smith with 15, 13 for Graham Ike to go along with 10 rebounds. It's his 8th double-double of the season, 12 for Tyon Grant Foster, and Braden Huff has 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. He came into the game hitting 67% from the field. It ranks him number 6 in the NCAA. Pepperdine led by Cooley with 13, 10 for Jonathan Levy and 4 rebounds, but the 2 top guards in Styles Phipps and Aaron Clark as we get a timeout about something across the way. 69-39, the Zags have led by as many as 31, and the officials will go over to the scores table and find out about something. And Mark Few said, what's going on? I'm not sure what this is all about. Again, we sit across the way, but for the Waves and Styles Phipps just 0 of 5 from the field, averaging better than 12 a game as he does 2. Aaron Clark is 2 of 11 from the field. He has only 4 points, and when those 2 key players don't get the numbers the Waves need, they're going to have a difficult time.
Yeah, they sure are. They need to find opportunity, the Waves here, whether it's from beyond the arc or inside the paint. We know that they really like to play that flex offense. So what that means is that there's a lot of interchangeable positions with the flex offense for the Waves. So we see bigs and guards often perform the same action. It encourages the team to be equal scoring, equal opportunities. We're not really seeing that right now from the Waves with this flex offense that allows them to have that equal scoring opportunity. Watch for them to try and continue this motion, try and force the defense to communicate that much more for the Zags.
All right, they changed the call. The ball goes over to Gonzaga, so the officials looked over at the replay, and the ball was last touched by Pepperdine. And so Gonzaga has possession once again, up by 30, 11-14 remaining. Down low it goes to Braden Huff, double teamed along the baseline. It comes back outside of St. Superi along the baseline. The jumper is good by Davis Fogel, the freshman.
The freshman seeing some playing time here. The 6'7" guard out of Washington has a season-high 19 points against Southern Utah, 5 rebounds versus Texas Southern. So has seen some PT for the Zags and has been pretty consistent when given the opportunity, 58% field goal.
St. Superi able to hit the 3 in transition. And it's 74-39 for the Zags. 8 of 16 beyond the arc. They came in averaging about 7 threes made per game. In driving, David Major just in. The ball goes in and comes out. And the rebound grab by Gonzaga and Adam Miller. Boy, the Waves outscored in the paint 42-8. This is St. Superi throws up a wild shot trying to draw the foul. And Pepperdine down the floor. This is Phipps along the baseline, come underneath, but he's double teamed. Give it to Cicic, who throws it up, and it bounces in.
Cicic just doing his job when having the opportunity to do so. When he's under that basket there, he has to be able to execute.
besides shooting about 60% for the game, the Zags have only 5 turnovers along the baseline. St. Superior missing, but the rebound by Huff comes back to Fogel, who drops in a 3.
There's the freshman Vogel from beyond the arc. That's 4 3-points now for him on the season. Very exciting for the young freshman. Went to Arizona Compass Prep, ranked 3rd in Arizona as a recruit.
We get a timeout, 77-41. Both teams making some wholesale changes. Zags up, 9:25 to go. You're watching the WCC on ESPN+. January the 21st up in Spokane at the McCarthy Athletic Center. All right, the Zags trying to make it 50 consecutive wins over Pepperdine. Waves last time defeating Gonzaga in 2002 when Paul Westphal was the head coach. The team's tied for the league championship that year. Both went to the NCAAs as we get a foul. It'll be against Gonzaga. But the Zags getting off to such a great start early. Victoria up 9-0 quickly and really never have looked back.
Well, we're seeing the culture of Gonzaga basketball. They have a long lineage of it, and we can talk circles around it. But at the end of the day, speaking with the coaching staff coming into this game, they said this team, this culture is uplifting in the locker room, in the weight room. We do our own thing. We have each other's back, and we root for each other on and off the court. And most importantly, they respect the game. With all the NIL stuff coming into play that we've seen in college athletics, at the end of the day, Gonzaga basketball respects the game, and they appreciate the opportunity to play.
Good pressure defense by Styles Phipps. David Major also traveled at the other end, but the Waves get it back. But there you see Mark Pugh is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. But to what you were talking about, this is a team that understands winning. They know how to win. They made a great commitment to their athletic program. Oh, Phipps able to throw it up and in.
What a play there by Phipps, being physical, creating that space, driving his shoulder down and finding that opportunity.
77-43, Gonzaga. As they will go to 13-1. Pepperdine will be at 5-9, taking on St. Mary's Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. We'll have it on ESPN+. Missed shot by St. Superior, and the Waves able to get the rebound. The Zags will be in San Diego on Tuesday. Last year, the Zags going to the NCAA tournament. They actually beat Georgia in the opening round, lost to Houston in the second round. Houston going all the way to the championship game and then losing to Florida for the national title. And we get the ball being tied up, but they're going to call a foul. It'll be on St. Superior. And the Waves will have possession, 77-43, 8:05 to go. But it goes back for the Waves. You like the effort. And now the ball thrown away. And the ball knocked away from behind by Phipps. And there will be a foul in the play. St. Superior will go to the line. No free throws coming. West Coast Conference Tournament back in Las Vegas. The 18 season, March 5th through the 10th, men and women. All 24 teams will be there at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. You take a look at Ed Schilling, who's assisted by Scott Rougeau, Tyus Edney, the former UCLA All-American, Jeremy Grubbs, Josh Calvert, and Michael Doig. So a game like this, when you play a game like this, Victoria, you've been in volleyball matches, this is a game you just kind of forget about, look to the next game and not worry about it. It's just one of those nights.
The best athletes have the worst memories, and I'm not the first one to say that by any means. What that means for the Waves is, you knew what Gonzaga was going to bring to the table this evening, but I have to give credit to the Waves. They haven't backed down. They've kept punching. They have been looking each other in the eye, communicating with each other. The Zags just have been able to play that much better defense and be able to score at such a higher percentage on the duration of this ball game. Now, with that being said, this is just the beginning of WCC play. Pepperdine has plenty of opportunity to get their feet underneath them, go back to the drawing board, watch some film, and just prepare for their next game, which is going to be this Tuesday just around the corner against St. Mary's.
And St. Mary's almost lost at LMU earlier this afternoon. They came away with a win, 78-73, but came right down to the wire the last couple of moments. The league is so strong from top to bottom. Washington State, they would 5-8 go into Portland, beat the Pilots, are off to a great start. Seattle's 11-2. There's Levy able to get the lay-in.
And to my point, there's Levy creating an opportunity when he's given one. Beneath that basket, finding space. Coach said that he's getting better and better as the season has gone on. He's finding that experience. He's a very cerebral player.
St. Superior with the fall away. The shot falls off, tipped out. Gonzaga controls once again. Right side, the three-pointer. Davis Fogel able to drop it in.
Well, Fogel has showed us to not leave him out there by himself. He does a great job of creating space, getting in the open zone behind the arc, and he has made those threes.
His jumper missing. And here comes Gonzaga once again. The only other game going on in the WCC on this Sunday before New Year's is San Francisco at Seattle. The Dons, a strong team. Seattle off to a great start, 11-2. It's 52-43 San Francisco at Seattle with 7 minutes to go. There's the ball being tied up. Let's see on the alternating possession. 6:22 remaining. To the credit of the crowd, Victoria, I don't see anybody leaving, just enjoying themselves on this Sunday early evening.
As they should. They got their ticket, came to see a good basketball match, supporting either their Pepperdine Waves and seeing the Zags up close.
The rock stars of the West Coast Conference, they are truly, everybody wants to see them. They create excitement wherever they go. They fill the arenas. Waves will have possession. Well, for Pepperdine, you forget about this. You entertain St. Mary's. I'll tell you, the West Coast Conference did not do Pepperdine any favors, scheduling Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara to start the conference and then go over to Pacific. Santa Clara might be the dark horse in this league. They are an outstanding team.
It'll be exciting to see what happens throughout the duration of conference play and heading into postseason, but can't put the wagon before the horse there. I will see how WCC play ends up.
It should be exciting again. It would appear that on any given night, and LMU almost just knocked off St. Mary's earlier today with the Gales prevailing. Gales are 12-2 on the season. They have been getting votes, but still trying to break into the top 25. The ball is kicked, and Gonzaga will get possession once again. 82-47, 6:01 remaining. And this one, Waves trailed at halftime, 44-26. So the Gales have not let up throughout. Again, that bench just showing and how good this team is. Haven't seen much of Grant Foster while he's in the game now, but in this second half, and he was their leading scorer in the first half of play, but they can go 9, 10, 11 deep. Everybody healthy for the Bulldogs in Superior. Excellent ball handler with a lob pass and a slam dunk to Grant Foster.
The Zags playing with so much joy on the court, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. Respect the game, appreciate the opportunity, and play for each other. Great look there for the slam dunk for the Zags.
Along the baseline, Levy. Waves trying to be patient on offense, but when you're down by so many points, you've got to start putting the ball up a little bit quicker. Levy dribbling, and we're going to get a foul on the dribble. Going to be against Gonzaga. And the bonus in effects of the Waves will get some free throws with 5:18 to play. Nice pass by St. Superior to Grant Foster, who's probably has a vertical of at least 40 inches.
Waves looking to control what they can control on their half of the court.
Grant Foster, who was the WAC Player of the Year in 2024 at Grand Canyon. His 7th year of playing basketball. It's interesting, he was actually ruled ineligible by the NCAA, but Gonzaga wisely appealed and took it to a Spokane judge. what's the judge going to say? Yeah, he's eligible. We can look at it at a later time and no one will really care. So you see number 7, really talented player.
Yep. And with that, he was able to finish in the nation's top 20 for points last season. This season already had a season high of 21 points versus Alabama. Foster continues to create opportunities on both sides of the ball. Season high of 12 rebounds versus Arizona State, 3 blocks at Oklahoma. Will make plays and blocks with it.
Ball going out of bounds. 5:08 to play.
Almost tagged you on the way out there, Al. They're trying to get you in the game.
I have eligibility.
There you go. That makes one of us.
On the baseline, Styles Phipps, and he's bumped and fouled, and a foul on the play. 4:58 to go. 84-48. As the Waves will go to 0-1 to begin conference play.
Substitution for the Bulldogs, number 5.
High free throws coming to Styles Phipps as the Waves continue to battle in this one. It's one of those nights Gonzaga just so good at what they do, and they've shown that tonight. And then Styles Phipps, the sophomore guard. Again, the Waves starting 5 sophomores in such a young team.
And that's part of the building foundation. The underclassmen playing such a role here for the Waves, being part of that foundation that they're creating here at the helm of Ed Schilling. And it's going to be exciting with all of the experience that Schilling brings to the Waves program and building that mountain up on the hill. We saw it earlier on in the broadcast, just what it does for recruiting. And the portal plays a factor nowadays, Al. We can talk circles around that, but I'm excited for what the Waves have ahead of them.
Well, that's the thing. With the NCAA portal, you can turn things around very quickly. Along the baseline, Phipps, and we get a whistle and a foul. And with the NIL money, again, the great commitment Gonzaga has made to their athletic program, not only just men's basketball, women's basketball has dominated the WCC, their volleyball teams, soccer teams so improved. They've doubled their enrollment because of the great athletic success. They were a small, and they're still a small private school, but now with the 8,000 students, they used to have only about 4,000, but it has grown because everybody knows about Gonzaga. They see them on TV almost every other night because they get great exposure. That's free advertising and marketing for your program. So for the Waves to be as young as they are, and you can turn things around very quickly, certainly in basketball. They say the football window, the NCAA portal starts January 2nd, but you're talking about 50, 60, 70 new players on your roster, where in basketball, maybe 4 or 5. Shot goes in and out by Fogel. Rebound down low, and we get a foul underneath.
And I think it says something about being able to retain athletes in today's portal culture. And for these programs that we're watching, they have been able to retain athletes and get new additions as well. But it really says something nowadays. If you're able to retain these athletes, it says so much about your culture. We can talk about Drew Timme, now with the South Bay Lakers, who played for Gonzaga. He played with a few of the athletes we're seeing here this evening. He was awarded Nation's Best Power Forward with the Kerry Montel Award, and that shows you just the history of what Gonzaga basketball is and what the alumni basis can do.
Is Maladiani missing the free throws, but Gonzaga comes up with it with 3:55 to go. 85-50. Waves and Zags will meet again up in Spokane. Here's Adam Miller from Arizona State. The Zags lost so much off last year's team. Here's Miller throwing it up as the shot clock winds down. Fogel has come off the bench and giving the Zags a nice lift. They don't lose anything when they go into their 8, 9, 10, 11 players. Here's Miller outside. Long bounce to Zags one more time. Lob down low. They battled. The Waves able to come up with it. And here comes Phipps. Phipps to Clark left side. He'll stop and shoot a 3. That's off the mark. And the Zags control the boards.
We've seen the full court press from the Zags. We've seen the fast tempo offense, transition plays. It doesn't matter who's in front of them. They're going to continue to play Gonzaga basketball. Al, you were talking about volleyball earlier, Al.
All right, throwing it up and in is Fogel. We get a foul in the play. Davis Fogel's come off the bench. He got 12 points in the game, 87. For the Zags, figure to make another strong run in the NCAA tournament. Cicic goes to Clark. Fogel on him. Clark will pull up the jumper off the mark, and Grant Foster up high with the rebound.
As conference continues to go, Al, I expect the Waves to lean on their strengths. They ranked 4th in the WCC with 12 offensive rebounds per game. They are one of two teams in the WCC that have 4 players averaging 11 points per game or more, with Clark, Cooley, Phipps, and Doshik. I expect them to go ahead and hit the reset button and come out on Tuesday and be that much better.
Dragovic able to score for Pepperdine, 90-52. Miller outside. Waves battle underneath, and then the lay-in, the putback for Gonzaga. So the Zags once again doing a great job on the boards. And that time Dione able to get the putback, the 7-footer. Big presence inside, considered a project for the Zags. They are so good. They battle underneath, and there's Cicic and able to get the putback. Boy, for the Zags, right on cue. They average 92 a game, and they've hit 92 tonight. Fogel, good ball handler. It's easily play guard. This is Fogel driving and under a minute to play.
Waves foul number 1, David Major, 4th personal, 8th team foul.
I see David Major, who was a former walk-on, and now on scholarship as Fogel draws the foul. Dad Scott played basketball at Fairleigh Dickinson, and his dad Scott got his law degree at Pepperdine University. He was in attendance tonight, enjoying the holiday, still living back on the East Coast where they got a lot of snow. Amazing, he made it back to the West Coast. So many flights being canceled and delayed throughout the country. This is Fogel. We got maybe a violation against Pepperdine, and the Zags will get another free throw. 93-54. For Pepperdine, doesn't get any easier with St. Mary's here on Tuesday night. Zags will be in San Diego on Tuesday. All right, the Waves now 94-54. 50 seconds to play. Pepperdine, Cicic holds on the top of the key, the 7-footer, the transfer from Tulane. Major driving to the basket and throwing up and in. David Major.
Great drive there from the redshirt junior, getting inside the lane. The walk-on has great energy and will always play hard.
Grant Foster able to draw the foul. 27 seconds to play. 94-56. For Pepperdine, you regroup, you forget about this game. Jonathan Levy tonight with 15 points, leading Pepperdine. Styles Phipps has 7 rebounds. One of the top rebounders in the conference. You see David Major, but Phipps is a 6'2" sophomore guard. He leads Pepperdine in rebounding better than 6 a game, and he has 7 tonight. And also 3 assists. Averages better than 12 points a game, but between Aaron Clark and Styles Phipps, both of those have to put up big numbers for the Waves to have success and give Gonzaga a lot of credit tonight. All right, shot clock's been turned off. 96-56 Gonzaga. Cicic fumbles it, and then there's a foul with 13 seconds remaining. Zags fortunate to stay in Southern California. Heading down to San Diego, they are expecting more rain throughout the Southland at the end of the week, right around New Year's and New Year's Day. And the timing for Gonzaga and their fans is just about perfect. And Cicic, free throw comes up short. 13 seconds to go. 96-56. Zags jumped out to that 9-0 advantage and just built on that. Led by 18 at halftime. Up by 40 points. Waves will go to 4 and 5 at home. Both free throws missing. The Zags will just let the clock run out. 96-56. Gonzaga with this victory as the teams will congratulate each other. Ed Schilling, Mark Pugh congratulating one another, the coaches as well.
The Zags came in and established their dominance in WCC.